Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Zulfiana Aminati, and I come from the English education major to deliver my speech to all today. The theme that I've chosen is This Book Saved Me. Before anything, I like to say that I've done a speech on this topic, but the book that I'll be talking about is different. To give you a little background information about myself, I started reading when elementary school started. At the time, though, I didn't really go out of my comfort zone that much because I just didn't want to read books that I wouldn't like when I was in third to fourth grade. My mother introduced me to a book that she said had a really big impact on her. I was really skeptical of it because it didn't seem like something that I would enjoy, but I started reading it on him. The book was about a young Japanese girl who was in sixth grade at the time, and she had an avid love for running. She was choosing for her school's relay race, so she practiced every single day. On the day of the competition, her class won first place. However, on that fateful day, her life began to change. With sickness and dizziness, she felt this as a constant, but never did she tell anybody about it, out of fear that they'd be concerned for her. One day, though, it's become a secret no longer. On a cold February day during practice, the girl collapsed and was taken to the hospital. She was in a spare room as her parents talked to the doctors. And from the spare room, suddenly her mother exclaimed, "Leukemia! It can be." When I read those words, I was in shock. How could such a young and active girl get such a horrible disease? This is the true story of Sadako Sasaki, and her story takes place just a few years after the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing. She was just 2 years old when it happened. She wasn't really affected at first, but it showed up eventually in her, and she was admitted to the hospital. The next day, her best friend visited her at the hospital and gave her a golden pepper crane. She explained to Sadako that if she could make 1,000 of them, then hopeful the gods would grant her a wish and she'd be able to get better. With this in her mind, she began to fold as many paper cranes as she could every single day in hopes that she'd be able to get better. It's a bit childish probably, but I really felt inspired and touched reading about how she didn't stop, and nor did she complain at all about her pain. She also received unwavering support from her friends and family who would even donate paper for her. With this, I truly felt as if she'd be able to make it out of this horrible situation. There came a time in the hospital when Sadako met a friend who was 2 years younger than her. His name was Kenji, and he also had leukemia. Unlike her though, Kenji did not have his parents around anymore, and he was very pessimistic. They nonetheless became good friends. There came a time though. One day when Sadako didn't meet Kenji all day long. The following night, Sadako heard the sound of hospital bed rolling away. A nurse came in her room and explained to her as calmly as she could that Kenji has passed away that night. Sadako grieved in her room for the death of her friend, but she never stopped again to keep folding these paper cranes and hope for the best. There came a point in her treatment also when it seemed like she was getting better. She was allowed to visit home, but after this visit, she only took a turn for the worse. That's when I knew that something bad was going to happen. One night during October, she swollen and clumsy hand flamed with a piece of paper in hopes that she'd be able to make one last paper crane before she fell asleep that night. The doctors took the paper away from her hands and told her that she could try again tomorrow. The next morning, it was October 25, 1955. She ate one bite of her dish as her family and friends surrendered her. On hers, she said, "It's good." In her sad and weakness voice, she took one last bite of the dish. Her eyes slowly drifted to sleep, and Sadako Sasaki never woke up. When I finished the book, I was in tears grieving for this girl that I never even met before. But I was so incredibly thankful that I gotten to her of her incredible journey. She had taught me and so many different people the importance of ones, the importance of peace and how to maintain it. It has taught me that war is never a good thing. And most importantly, I think this book has taught me that no matter how dire your situation gets, and no matter the consequence of what's going on, no matter the outcome, that you must never stop trying. No matter what, she is today considered an important figure in peace, and that's really inspired me. Finally, I'd like to dedicate this speech to Sadako Sasaki herself, the girl that only wanted to run like the wind. Thank you so much. I hope this book is header. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.